Texas Motor Speedway is stop number 6 on the Castrol GTX Cup Series, as we are here today for the running of the Interstate Batteries 500, and it's the new Texas 2017 track we're on here today. First time we're trying this out here. So should be some great racing here today on this 1.5-mile racetrack here. Had a great race down in Darlington, the last race on the tour, and let's see what happens here today at Texas. So on the pole, in fact, both of our front row starters will be carrying in-car cameras in today's event. Kat Batson on the pole at 197 miles an hour. She'll be alongside number 99, Levi McIntyre, in the Exide Bears SKF Ford, the winner at Darlington this season. Kat driving the number 88 Quality Care Service Ford. Row 2 will have Joshua Collard at number 43 and number 5, Phil Parker on the outside. They have the second row in today's event. Third row will have Kyle Langland in 25 and number 16, Johnny Gardner on the outside. Going to row 4, we'll have number 15, Preston Dive Bomb City Plord, and number 6, Becca Tellier in the Valvoline Ford. She's on the outside, and it's two of the KB Enterprises cars. That'll start in the top 10 in today's event. Going to row number 5, we'll have our third in-car camera, Charles Sanford in number 41, and the 4-time series champion, Jessica Shelton in number 94. Charles, by the way, the winner of the Daytona 500 this season. Going to row number 6, we'll have the race sponsor's car. It's the Interstate Batteries Chevrolet of Paul Minnick. And number 71, Kev Shearer, sitting alongside Shearer, who nearly pulled it off down in Darlington, only to get past on the last lap of the event. Going to the 7th row, we'll have Keith Batson, car number 20, Texaco Haviland Ford. And number 22, Dylan Poteet in the MB&A Pontiac. Next row down has Joshua Osborne, number 37, and number 23. It is Ryan George sitting alongside. The next row down will have number 3, Cole Deaver in the GM Goodwin Chevrolet, the winner at Atlanta this season, and number 4, William Brock in the Kodak Film Chevrolet. Next row down have Jonathan Zorlin, number 44, and number 33, the winner at Las Vegas, Al Lagasse, sitting alongside the only surprise winner really this season. Next row down has number 1, Alexander Rowe in the Hooters Pontiac, and another Pontiac, Kyle Matthews, the winner at Rockingham this season, the Coors Light Machine. Next row down has Glenn Duhit, number 8 in the Circuit City Ford, and number 11, Patrick Smith in the Lowe's Ford. Next row down, they'll have number 87, Jack Lagasse in the Burger King Chevrolet, and number 7, QVC Ford of Mike Becker. Next row down, we'll have number 29, Zachary Fitzwater in the Cartoon Network Chevrolet, and 21, the Citgo Ford of Jason Haywood. Next row down has number 24. It is Michael Whitman in the DuPont Chevrolet, coming off the top 10 run at Darlington, and Shane Lake, number 17, in Western Auto Parts America Chevrolet. Next row down, we'll have number 30, Audra Baranowskis in the Pennzoil Pontiac, and number 2, Dylan Young in the Miller Ford. Next row down, we'll have Jesse Turner, number 19, the Health Source Ford, and number 77, the Jasper Engines Ford of Chelsea Bowles. Next row down, we'll have Ryan Acosta, number 10, and number 81 of Nick Baxter. Next row down, Quentin Moore in 75, and number 12 of JT Bryant. And the next row down, we'll have number 98, the RCA Ford of Max Anderson, and number 90, the Hollig Myers Ford of Jordan Lopez. And starting shotgun in the field is Ashlyn Boyd, and number 50, and listen to me, and number 9, the Spam Ford out of Melling Racing. So, field getting set for green flag racing. It'll be 51 laps of action on this. Let's see how this new 2017 Texas track will do for the series. If all's a go, and we'll use that. If all's a go, we'll use that track for the up and coming seasons in the Castrol GTX Cup Series. This is the only visit to Texas this season, and like I said, of course, we have been running all the 1.5 in previous seasons, but up until maybe just a few seasons ago. But we started shortened up the amount of 1.5 tracks for this in this series. So, with all that said, let's get to the command to fire the engines here at Texas.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
So the command's given the fire the engines as we get set for 51 laps of racing here today, and in this the Interstate Batteries 500. And somebody's not getting going here. I think it's the 15 of Preston Plord that's not getting going in the Hayes Bonus Wharton. Yep, he's back. He's on pit road. So apparently Preston Plord's car would not start, and sitting on pit road. And so a tough break for Preston, who started in the top 10 in today's event. And oh no, Kat Batson, she's on. And oh no, Kat Batson, the pole sitter. She's got problems on her car. I have never. Oh my goodness. First, Preston Plord did not start, and now Kat Batson's got some problems with her number 88 Quality Care Service Ford, who was supposed to have been the pole sitter for the event here at Texas, and now she's on the apron of the racetrack. So that means Joshua Collar's going to move up to the pole sitting starting spot. Well, she's up. Maybe she's back on the banking, I think. I don't know. And nope, she's going to head down pit road along with the pace car. And yep, so that's going to be Joshua Collar's going to be the pole sitter for the event now, moving up to the pole spot as the green flag will be waving here at Texas, and we are underway in the Interstate Batters 500 at Texas. That is some crazy stuff. And Paul Mack's got problems at number 18. So that's 3 cars that's now had problems right at the start. Kat Batson coming off pit road, and going inside for the lead is Kyle Langland, as he'll move inside of Collard for the number 1 spot, and he'll take the lead now. Collard led the first lap of the event, and Langland tested very, very well here at Texas. In fact, practiced fast, and he was fast in qualifying, started 3rd. Or started this race, I should say, in 5th, excuse me. And here comes Charles Sanford to the inside of the racetrack here. So he'll move inside of Langland for the number 1 spot. Johnny Gardner shoving him as Collard gets off the wall a little bit. Langland leads the lap. And now they caught up to Kat Batson, number 88. And she is now in 39th position, unfortunately for her. And she has 1 lap down, so she can catch a caution flag. She will try to keep from going a lap down here. And leading that lap is Johnny Gardner. He takes the lead from Charles Sanford. Now here inside comes Phil Parker, who's got the push. No, he had the push. Now he does. Now Jessica Shelton goes inside. And number 94, she goes inside of the racetrack. She'll get by Becca Tellier, and now she'll try to get by Phil Parker, number 5. Parker, a winner last season at Rockingham. 3 wide off turn number 4. Poteet stuck in the middle between Becca Tellier and Joshua Collard. And here comes Charles Sanford for the lead inside there. Levi McIntyre watching all this from 3rd position, trying to hold off Shelton in 94. Riding with Levi McIntyre, number 99. Shelton dives inside. She'll go for the lead. Or not for the lead, excuse me. She'll take 3rd position. Now she'll try to go for 2nd on Charles Sanford. Now from inside Charles Sanford's car. Sanford, of course, we said, the winner of the Daytona 500 this season. And now he and Jessica Shelton battling it out for the number 2 position. Shelton has it. And I tell you that number 94 looking awfully strong. She started 10th in this race, and now she's moved her way up to the 2nd spot. But Joshua Card says, I'll try to take that spot away, and he'll go inside of Shelton. As meantime, Johnny Gardner still has the lead, number 16, in the Family Channel Primes Report. The last time, I can't think of the last time he actually won a race in this season, in a series, believe it or not. He has not won in a long, long time in a series, and I can't think of how far back he actually goes from winning to his last win, but Newman, of course, who was the season 8 champion of the series, Becca Tellier Kat Batson doing an awesome job trying to hold him off to try to keep from going a lap down. But unfortunately, from test races in Texas, we had caution flags fall about sometime in the middle of the event at Texas. But Batson at the high side, Gardner will dive inside of the racetrack, and she will. Well, she's in danger now, going a lap down, but. And Batson cuts back in front of Johnny Gardner as she stays on the lead lap for now, but that's let Joshua Collard in this mix now. Collard looking for the number 1 spot in that 43 car. And for Joshua Collard, I think Collard had a win last season as well. It was his first in a long time. Now Levi McIntyre goes inside of Kyle Langland for position. McIntyre for second, the winner for third position, the man who won at Darlington. The last stop on the tour. Now Gardner does put Kat Batson a lap down, unfortunately for her. So, problems. Like I said, we had a whole slew of problems right at the very start of the race. And in fact, the 15 car was counted an accident for some unknown reason. I don't think he crashed. I think he was more of a mechanical problem than the number 15 car. Meantime, the 18 car, I think, is still sitting on pit road 5 laps down, I think. Let's check on him. Yeah, Minnick gets back on the racetrack. So, Paul Minnick running in 40th position. He is now, and he is currently, I think, 5 laps down. Now Kat Batson's now 1 lap down now in the 88 car. She's trying to get herself in a position to try to get back on the lead lap. Meantime, it is Johnny Gardner leading. Levi McIntyre looking inside for the lead now for the lead. Langland's in third position. Jessica Shelton trying to get fourth from Joshua Collard. And meantime, Shelton once more. She goes inside of Langland for the position. She's got third now. She's got the help from one of the KAB cars, Becca Tellier in number 6. And William Brock in number 4 looking pretty racy here today as Charles Sanford, Kev Shears in this mix. In the 71, Cole Deaver in the 3. Deaver, of course, won in a mile and a half at Atlanta this season. That black number 3 moving its way up through the field here at Texas Motor Speedway as we see Phil Parker closing up in number 5, and he closed up big time on Charles Sanford, but not quite. But had to back off the accelerator, and now he falls back in behind, but now he'll try again. They're the third and fourth turns now, and meanwhile he's got the Ford of Keith Batson behind him in number 28. There he is, along with the 22 car of Dylan Poteet. Poteet's in 13th position. 14th is Kyle Matthews, who comes in this race the points leader towards the championship. Glenn Duhit running in 15th. Dylan Young up to the 16th position right now. And number 2, now trying for 15th on Duhit at the moment. Dylan Young, who had a solid run down in Darlington this season. Also a solid run in the Daytona 500 as well, at number 2. And meantime, change for the late happening as Kyle Langland goes to number 1 spot now. And as he's trying to hold off one of the best in Jessica Shelton. Shelton to second position, and William Brockett at number 4 car moving up to third position now. William Brockett, I think, to my opinion, William Brockett should be a matter of time before William Brockett actually I think gets his first ever victory in this series, because he has been very, very solid not only this season, but he was solid last season as well in number 4. So he's so that number 4 car for Morgan McClure looking pretty strong here, looking pretty stout here. You got Chevrolets and Fords in the top 4 spots, and now here comes Brock to the inside of Shelton. Taylor runs in 4th position. Cole Bieber up to the 5th position now, number 3. Meantime, Kat Batson has unlapped herself for the moment. And already 20 laps into the books. There are actually 19 in the books right now. Working on the 20th lap of this event. And here comes Shelton moving inside of Taylor now. And meantime, Cole Bieber trying to figure out who he wants to go with. He'll stay in behind Taylor at the moment, in the 6th car. Sanford running in the 6th position. On board Charles Sanford's car. Going into turn number 3 at 195 miles an hour. He'll move up the running against the middle lane through the 3rd and 4th turns now. And see how fast he goes into turn number 1. 198 miles an hour, 99, 200, 201 miles an hour to turn number 1. And down to about 172 miles an hour through the first and 2nd turns now. He catches a sniff off the draft of Cole Bieber's car. And goes into 3rd turn at 196 miles an hour. Now down to about 188 through the 3rd and 4th turns. So some great racing happening here. Jessica Shelton, meanwhile, took the lead away from Kyle England. She leads her first lap of the day. As Sanford now in a battle with Johnny Gardner for position. In the meantime, battle for the lead happening. Becca Taylor inside of Jessica Shelton. As Taylor trying to get the push from William Brock in number 4. Shelton holds him off for the time being as they go into turn number 1. So you got Chevrolet's doing a pretty good job. They're holding on, trying to run with the fast Fords here today. The Fords have been very strong here at Texas. Had Ford sweeping the front row for the event here with Kat Batson and Levi McIntyre. Batson, as you see right there up ahead in 88, she is not the leader of the event. She is actually tail end of the lead lap in 39th. Kat Batson hoping to get a caution flag to try to stay on the lead lap and possibly have a potential shot of winning this race. But right now it is Jessica Shelton and Kat and Becca Taylor showing the way here at Texas Motor Speedway. 1st and 2nd at the moment. Brock is in 3rd. Langland and Deaver battling for 4th. As Deaver has it for the moment. Now Langland goes inside. Langland, as we said, that car's been very fast out through testing and qualifying and practices here at Texas. I mean, that 25 car is very much a contender here in this race. Joshua Carr running in 6th position. 7th is Levi McIntyre. 8th is Johnny Gardner. 9th is Charles Sanford. And 10th is Kev Shearer. Going in 11th position will be Phil Parker. 12th right now is Dylan Poteet. 13th is Keith Batson. 14th, Dylan Young. 15th, Glenn Duhis. He's gotten by Kyle Matthews. Matthews trying to go inside now for 15th. Matthews currently 16th at the moment. Joshua Osborne 17th. 18th is Patrick Smith. 19th is Jason Haywood. And Jesse Turner has now moved up in the 20th position. As they come out the 4th corner here, Turner trying to follow the draft off whoever he wants to go behind it, either the 11 or the 21. Michael Whitman in 21st position. 22nd right now is Jonathan Zorlin. Al Legacy 23rd is Becca Taylor's now taking over the lead in the 6th car. Battle for position there. Alexander Rowe in the 1 and Ryan George in 23. Audra Baranowskis is in 26th. 27th right now is Jack Legacy as he and Max Anderson, who started last in this event, or started actually next to last, excuse me. Quentin Moore in this mix, Jordan Lopez in 90. Mike Becker, Shane Lake, Chelsea Bowles in this mix. Nick Baxter and Zachary Fitzwater going at it. Ashlyn Boyd, who started last, has just moved up to 36th position. Ryan Acosta in 37th, and Paul Minnick, who is 5 laps down, running in 40th position. And JT Bryant has got a header problem on his number 12 car, and that knocks him out of the race. So, for all intents and purposes, an engine failure on the number 12 Ford. So Minnick should be in 39th position. And battle for the lead again. Jessica Shelton inside of Becca Tellier for position as they come off turn number 4. Shelton's got the inside lane working for her to her advantage, and she'll take the lead back now with now 21 laps remaining. And here comes Cole Deaver in that 3 cars. He moved inside of Tellier for position. Battle for second between the 6 and the 3. Ford versus Chevrolet. So 2 Fords trying to hold off a slew of Chevrolet cars, the 3, the 4, and the 25. Then you got Ford running 6th and 7th with Levi McIntyre and Johnny Gardner. And here comes Tellier inside for the lead. Her and Shelton going at it again. I tell you what, if it comes down between those 2 for the victory here today at Texas, it's going to be pretty wild here. Fast lap of the race so far. It's run by Keith Batson at 196.5 miles an hour. Several cars very close to 196, 195 mile an hour range. Proves that Texas is one fast racetrack. And we go from a fast 1.5 mile at Texas to the world's fastest half mile at Bristol, Tennessee, the next stop on the tour for the Food City 500. That will start the 3 straight short track races at Bristol, then North Wilkesboro, and then Martinsville before they head to the longest and the fastest at Talladega. As Tellier takes the lead, but look at that crossover move by Jessica Shelton. She says, that's my spot. She wants to go take the lead back. Boy, I tell you what, racing between the 6 and the 94 has been what a show those two. What a show that Shelton and Tellier's been putting on here today. Here at Texas, as now William Brock was in the 3rd position, and look at Johnny Gardner at the 4th position as he's going to try for 3rd spot now. And meantime, Tellier goes back inside of Shelton, side by side again between the 6 and the 94. And it's Tellier taking the lead now. So the ladies, as I said, putting on a heck of a show here today. And finally, Shelton has to get off the throttle just a little bit. She got way up high on the course here. Now Gardner now moves up in on her. So now you got 3 Fords in the top 3 spots now. And meantime, Levi McIntyre begins to roll in 99 as he goes inside of Kev Shear. Battle reminiscent of Darlington. As Shear goes to the high side, he'll lose position now on McIntyre. That was for the 9th position. And the yellow flag is flown for the first time here today at Texas Motor Speedway. And that's going to be a break for Kat Batson. She will stay on the lead lap. And it's the 44 of Jonathan Zorland that has crashed. And this happening with 15 laps to go. And Jesse Turner and Shane Lake was involved as well. Boy, poor Jesse Turner. When it rains, it pours for him. So the crash happening here, and I think I saw the DuPont colors of Michael Whitman involved as well. Take a look and see who. This is what caused the yellow flag to fly here. That's the 19 of Jesse Turner. I'm not sure if he was the one that started the crash or not. Yeah, apparently Turner had a mechanical problem on his 19 machine, and epic fail on my part on the replay. Yeah, Turner's car had a problem right there, number 19. And then Whitman's going to rear end him in 24, and then right there in the wall, and then and he gets center punched by the 44 of Jonathan Zorlin. And there's where Shane Lake's going to come in right now in 17. Oh! One of those where you just say, congratulations, you just took yourself right out of the race. So Shane Lake, who, well, you can't say he had nowhere to go, because sometimes in games like this, it's almost like you want to say you could have turned down here, yeah, but I ain't saying nothing. But anyway, here's how it looked real time. I like to see the impact speed again on the 17 car. That was horrific. Yeah, Shane Lake trying to get on the brakes to try to get. Yeah, Shane Lake trying to get on the brakes to try to keep from rear-ending the 19 car, which unfortunately he couldn't. And let's see what happens here. Keep an eye on the speed right there. 150 miles an hour now. 152, actually. 53, 54. Actually sped up just a little bit. 154 miles an hour into Jesse Turner's car. Horrible hit for Shane Lake in the 17 car. So, cars out of the race here. Jonathan Zorlin, Jesse Turner, Shane Lake, JT Bryant, and Preston Plord all out of the race here. And the 18 car of Paul Minica, of course, he's got plenty of time to pass all of these drivers. But as we said, the caution flag benefited Kat Batson in the 88. She is back on the lead. She stays on the lead lap after being actually at 1.1 lap down, actually, after the problems that she suffered right at the very start of the race. And she was supposed to be in the pole sitter for the event. But we'll see if the KAB Enterprises cars can see if KAB Enterprises can pull one off here this season, as Becca Taylor has the lead, but she's got a few of the best. Jessica Shelton, the 4-time champion, in second position. Third is Johnny Gardner. Fourth is Kyle Langland. Fifth is William Brock. Sixth is Cole Deaver. Seventh right now is Joshua Collard. Charles Sanford's in 8th position. Ninth is Levi McIntyre, and Kev Scheer runs in 10th position. Going 11th is Phil Parker. 12th is Keith Batson. 13th, Dylan Young. 14th is Jason Haywood. Josh Osborne. 15th, 16th is Kyle Matthews. 17th is Dylan Poteet, excuse me. Glenn Duhit, 18th. 19th is Al Legacy, and 20th is Audra Baranowskis. The green flag back out again, and we are down to 11 laps to go. Cars lined up single file formation as they come off the 4th corner now. And here comes number 18. That is Paul Minnick trying to get one of his 5 laps back. And battle for the lead. 3 wide. Johnny Gardner inside of Shelton and Tillier. Gardner falls back in behind Shelton for the lead. Side by side, the 94 and 6 going at it again. And throw the 16 in there as well. 3 Fords in the top 3 spots. Shelton leads now with 9 laps to go. And Johnny Gardner, he's hungry for a victory. It's not one, as I said before, has not won in a long, long time in this series. And he'll duck inside of Shelton as he just barely had enough to clear Becca Tellier into 6. And it's Gardner for the number 1 spot. Tellier and Shelton side by side for second now. 8 to go. And don't count this bunch of cars out there. Langland, Collard, Brock, they can potentially pull this one off too. Single file for the first 5 spots now. Collard looks inside of Brock for 5th. And here comes Becca Tellier. She goes inside of the racetrack here. She won 3 times last season, including Darlington, Richmond, and Dover. That was her wins last season. Trying to pick up her first this season here at Texas. Five to go. 5 laps to go. Johnny Gardner trying to hold them all off now. And problems for Cole Deaver. He had a piston problem. That's knocked him out of the race there. So another engine failure. This time for the number 3 GM Goodrich car, Cole Deaver. He's out of the race now. So quite a blow for the Goodrich team of Cole Deaver after coming off of a good run at Darlington and a excellent day at Atlanta where he won. Gardner up the high side. Here comes Tellier for the lead. And it's Tellier to the lead. Shelton pushes her. Shelton to the inside now. For the lead comes car 94. Jessica Shelton now with 4 laps to go. And Gardner, I thought Gardner was going to split the hole, make it 3 wide, but Tellier has got the push now from Gardner. Shelton now left all alone on the inside, but she's got enough power in that Ford. Gardner pushing the 6 car off the 4th corner. And I thought Gardner was going to turn Becca around. But Gardner holds ground now as he goes inside of Tellier for 2nd. Langland's in this mix now in a 25. He could possibly play a spoiler in all this, if not make a run at it himself. Let's remember, Langland finished off last season with 2 wins on the season at Phoenix and Homestead, and would like to get his first win of this season. Shelton up the high side. Gardner, like a bat out of you-know-where, goes inside on Shelton. It will be the white flag next time by. Will it be Shelton? Will it be Gardner? Will it be Langland? Or anybody behind him? Langland, side by side with Gardner for 2nd. White flag. Last lap here at Texas. Langland looks to the inside. Shelton to the high side now. Here they come off 2nd turn here. Who's going to make the move if they make the move here? Langland the 2nd. Through the 3rd and 4th turns now. Shelton still holding the lead. Langland looks to the inside. Gardner looks inside of Langland. It's going to be all she wrote off turn number 4. And it'll be car number 94, Jessica Shelton, winning the Interstate Batteries 500 at Texas. Jessica Shelton, for the 2nd season in a row, wins the Interstate Batteries 500 as she takes home the title, holding off Johnny Gardner, Becca Tellier, Kyle Langland. Those 3 drivers all took a shot at her on the last 4 or 5 laps. What a finish here. Average speed 165.847. And we got plenty of rumpled up fenders. Oh my gosh, we got couple of buckled up hoods here. Ryan Acosta, Nick Baxter. Yeah, some tempers flaring here in the last couple of laps here at Texas. But a big win for Jessica Shelton, her first of the season at Texas, as Gardner comes home second. Third will go to Kyle Langland. Fourth position with Rebecca Tellier. William Brock, a solid fifth for today's event. Charles Sanford comes home sixth. Seventh position will go to Joshua Collard. Levi McIntyre, eighth. Ninth will go to Phil Parker. And Kev Shear will end up finishing in 10th. A great race here today at Texas Motor Speedway and the Interstate Batteries 500. So 6 races are in the books in the series. Jessica Shelton gets her first victory of the season. Let's give you the rest of the finishing order. Jason Haywood comes home in 11th position. 12th spot will go to Keith Batson. Joshua Osborne, 13th. Dylan Poteet, 14th. Kyle Matthews, when it comes back, with a solid 15th in today's event. Glenn Duhit, a great day for him, finishing in 16th position. And gotta give a call to Kat Batson, who rode 39th, the last car on the lead lap, all race long, got the caution when she needed it, and comes back to finish 17th. But imagine how that car would have run though if she had stayed on the pole position. And so we might have had about a 5-car shootout for the win here instead of just 4. We had a shootout pretty much the whole race long, obviously. Dylan Young comes home in 18th, 19th Ryan George, 20th to go to Jordan Lopez. Jack Legacy at 21st, 22nd will go to Quentin Moore. 23rd will go to Patrick Smith. 24th, Alexander Rowe. 25th, Audra Baranowskis. Max Anderson, 26th. 27th will go to Al Legacy. Chelsea Bowles, 28th. Zachary Fitzwater matches his car number in 29th. 30th will go to Mike Becker. 31st will be Ashlyn Boyd. 32nd will be Nick Baxter. Ryan Acosta, 33rd. And Michael Whitman, the last car on the lead lap in 34th. Paul Minnick ends up finishing 35th, 4 laps down. And was the last finish of the race. Cars out of the race, and a tough break for some of them. Especially for Cole Deaver, 36th position. He was in the top 10 all race long until a burnt piston knocked him out of the race there. But for all intents and purposes, it was an engine failure on the GM Goodrich Chevrolet. Swallowed something too quick. Jonathan Sorlin, 37th. He was out of the race He and Jesse Turner and Shane Lake all had a crash that cost the only caution of the day. And then JT Bryant had a header problem, and Preston Plour was basically a did not start in 41st, and a tough break for him after starting in the top 10. And I tell you again, this race started off very wacky. We had 3 cars with problems right at the very first lap of the event, and 2 of them before the start of the race happened with Becca Tellier and Kat Batson, with Kat Batson, Paul Minnick, and Preston Plour. So I mean, tell you what, that was crazy stuff here. But once action got going, Jessica Shelton holds them all off and is the Queen of Texas again here at Texas Motor Speedway as she picks up her first victory of the season. If you like what you share, so next out of the tour will be at the Rough and Tumble Bristol Motor Speedway in Bristol, Tennessee. If you like what you see here, be sure to subscribe to the NNSCRA Sports and Gaming channel. We have everything on this channel. We got races, gaming videos, whatever the president of the NNSCRA stuff called desires for this channel. And else for this channel. And please be sure to check out Seth's Tech Slayer Truck Series, Pizza Hut X Series, and Hershey's Cup Series. Be sure to check those races out. Some of the best off-road races you'll find is right here in the NNSCRA. So we'll see you at Bristol Motor Speedway. Congratulations again to Jessica Shelton, the winner of the Interstate Batteries 500. So for now, this is James Qualls in the production of the NNSCRA. Offline racing at its best.